making money with the new xTool apparel printer. Super excited, it's finally here. I can talk about it, I can show you all the good stuff. So there's gonna be lots of tips in this about sales, where to make money, how to make money with it, a little bit of review on the machine, showing the applications a closer look. So use the timestamps if you want to skip around, lots of tips in here. Here we go, apparel printer, DTF, making money. So to start off, I want to talk about the printer. I think a lot of you are probably here because you want to learn more about this xTool apparel printer. For those who don't know, this is a DTF printer, direct to film. So we got a roll of film and it prints these just really high-end transfers that I can then use with a heat press on any garments, any fabric, really nice high-end prints. And so it's quick, it's really quick. And so the point of this is really targeted to small businesses and medium businesses where you can really quickly batch out a bunch of designs for a company, a school, a team, small orders, medium orders, could even do big orders. Actually, all of the garments you see here, I did all of them from design, printing, all of it in like an hour and a half. So it's actually pretty quick. So here is the machine. Let's jump in and learn a little bit about what sets this machine apart. I do have some experience with another brand. It's great, it's good. There's some really cool innovations we'll talk about with this xTool apparel printer. All right, let's jump in. So setup is really easy, goes pretty fast. You open the machine, everything's packed well, and you're up and running in pretty much no time. One thing compared to other DTF printers is really adding the ink and getting all the setup and calibration. They make it so much easier, especially with the AI cameras in here. But lots of magnets everywhere for covers. Everything is really secure. On the back, you do have the film roller, pretty simple. This might be different if you have the full shaker oven. Again, we'll get into that a little bit later, but it's really easy to feed it through. So ink. The ink is really simple. Now there is a special cleaning solution on this one as opposed to other units. So you have all of your colors. You have yellow, magenta, and cyan. And with those three colors, you can make everything. Obviously there's the black and then lots of white. It's pretty simple. I didn't do gloves, didn't really need a little bit of a mess. That's on me, but pretty simple. Now, normally what you have to do is you have to use a syringe to pull the ink through all of the tubes, make sure there's no air bubbles. And so that process is a little bit more challenging. Well, with the xTool apparel printer, you don't have to. It automatically does it. So here you can see the yellow, it's getting pulled in, the white's doing it. It automatically does this, and there's no guesswork. Did I have enough? So it's cleaner, it's faster. And then you're up and running. This is an amazing machine. Lots of transparent, the lid, you can see through, you can really see the process. We have that color touchpad. Later in the video, I will talk a lot more about some of the really cool features, but we'll save that for a little bit later on. Again, you can use the timestamps if you want more on the review of the machine. Here, just kind of exploring different settings. I'll talk a lot about settings and files later. The software, some crazy stuff there. But just really quick, want to show you this machine in use. It's awesome. It's incredible. Yeah, it's pretty special. So it adds the ink, adds the color, and then it follows up with white on the back. So that makes it pop on dark colors. It really just gives a better print quality. And so pretty cool, pretty simple process. Okay, so obviously we don't have the shaker oven yet. I'll get into that for the whole process, how you do it without a shaker oven, but really one of the biggest selling points, the machine itself is fantastic. The printer itself is amazing, but you do need to add a powder and then shake that off and then cure it with an oven. And really the xTool shaker oven, small footprint, you do it all, it's the safety features. And we'll jump into that in a bit. But I know a lot of you are also here because you want to know, how am I going to make money? How can I justify the sale? So let's talk about that right now. So there's lots of ways to make money with this machine. Now, obviously it's quite expensive. This is more than just, an entry-level hobbyist machine, but it's got every bell and whistle you can imagine, really to make it really efficient and great. Selling these transfers. You can buy, if you just have a heat press, you can buy a transfer like this for $5, right? So people will just use machines to print transfers, $5, $7, $10. And so obviously, if I'm just selling transfers, it's gonna take a while to make back my money, but that is a great way. Some people, they don't even mess with the garments or the apparel. They just print DTF transfers nonstop. And with this machine, especially with the one-click setup, once you have that apparel printer, once you have the shaker oven, you literally push a button and it just boom, 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 boom. That is crazy efficiency. We'll dive more into that when I get the shaker oven and I can show that. Still waiting on that. Other ways to make money, obviously garments. So here you can see we've got ourselves a painting company, right? And so obviously loads of companies out there, whether it's painting, plumbing, electrician, construction, whatnot, need some branding, need some shirts. I'll talk about design, some free files later in the video, how easy it is to mock these up, even to maybe offer to a brand, to a company, to improve their logo. Another idea for money, I'm a teacher. I'm a 5th grade teacher, and teachers, we love t-shirts. We love spirit days and all that. There's a lot of schools around. So you can do, this is a little AI, quick little AI doing our school mascot. We have literacy night coming up, and here is a mountain lion, our mascot, reading a book in John Muir Elementary. John Muir reads, a fun thing. You can do all kinds of things. So teachers, you can do football teams, soccer teams, kickball, a softball league. Really easy, really quick. Now, the profit margins. Now, normally you're going to buy a t-shirt $3 to $5. Depends on the quality, what you want to go with. Let's just say, we'll just split the difference. $4 for a shirt. Materials to print one of these transfers, not that much. Obviously, you have to build in the cost and all that. But think, ink, consumables, let's just say it's $1, right? That's $5. So if I sell my shirt for $15, $20, and most of the time that's what shirts go for custom shirts, $20 is usually the entry level price. That's a ton of profit to be made. Now, maybe you want to batch out, okay, it's a school, I really want to give them a great deal, a discount. Even if it's like $12 to $15, there's a lot of profit to be made. And all of these shirts, right? This particular shirt, this was like $3.50 per shirt. So let's say I have $4 in costs, and I could sell this shirt right here to a company, and I could do wholesale. Hey, I'll make you a dozen at 10 to 15 bucks a pop. I can give them a great deal, and it adds up over time, right? Obviously, wholesale you can do bigger ones, but businesses, great idea. So that's actually, let's talk about the designs and logo a little bit more right now. In my last video on the apparel printer, I talked about this. I used Canva software program. I'll explore some other software ones, some free ones later. And I just mocked up. We had some painters over, and I mocked up a lot of different designs. Just kind of like, hey, can I make you a new logo? Can I do some stuff? Sometimes you'll do this, can knock off the price of something for your home, or you can reach out to businesses and say, hey, can I do some some merch for you, some apparel. But anyway, really easy to do a bunch. You can see here, just on that DTF transfer. And then, they picked the one they wanted. And then here we go. We got all of these different designs. So we got hoodies, we got t-shirts, we have hat patches, lots going on. There's a whole wide assortment with that idea. So honestly, word of mouth is one of the best ways to get started. Obviously, you can have a website, you can do Etsy and all that. There's a lot of folks, out there, and so it's kind of flooded in that regard. But I've seen so many people who just start with their Facebook group, local friends, hey, I have this idea, and people find out and you can do it. What's great about this machine as opposed to screen printing, which I have and I've done and I love, it really is, someone sends you a message, hey, I'd love to get, 5 of these shirts for a family reunion. Hey, we're going to Disneyland and we'd like some custom shirts. Or, all of those like kind of one-offs. Those typically, that's really hard to pull off, right? You have to make a whole screen, emulsion, or if you have the xTool system, still have to do the laser, you have to do the inks and clean them. This thing right here, you literally go to the computer, you mock it up, probably 5-10 minutes, you have your design, or if they have the design for you, so fast. Again, we'll get into files and how easy it is to do that. And you're up and running, you're printing in no time, it's one click, you add it to a heat press, you can do this in one evening, one afternoon, you can do that order, where you're making, $100, $200, and that's just like a one-off. Now, obviously, you would need to do that a bunch of times to pay for the machine, but just those one-offs alone, you're just gonna start making some money. A lot of folks, if you have a store or a business, right, this is a great setup where it's really safe, and you can have that shaker oven there, and you can just have it there, and people can come up and customize shirts on site. But really, if the title of this video, Making Money, really, obviously, we're introducing it, it's getting those bigger orders. And so my recommendation, teachers reaching out to schools, softball leagues, church groups, organizations. These aren't embroidered patches. Obviously, you're not going to use IP like, these football clubs. or whatnot. But you can do these patches. These are sublimation patches, and I'll explore these in a bit. But that's another idea. Lots of other things. You can do really cool hats, lots more. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's get into actually using the machine and talking more on the process and how easy it is to use it in real time. So it's one click. It's one click and then it starts running. Here, it's going to print it out. I don't have the shaker head. Here, it's printing the colored ink. Then it's got the white backer. Well, at this point, we have to add a powder. We have to add this rubber powder on the back, the adhesive powder. Now, I don't have the shaker oven, so I'm using a different brand. And the process, you can see I'm wearing a respirator. Now, a lot of people say that this can cause cancer, these things, if it's airborne. So this is the part that's kind of troublesome and why the xTool shaker oven idea is so great, because it's all enclosed for safety. So all this powder, I have to shake it off. Well, that powder gets everywhere. I'm not staging this just for the video. Like, truly, it is everywhere. And so then if that's airborne, it gets in your lungs. Again, you can see the screenshot right here where someone talked about how, it causes cancer, and lots of other people. So, I mean, should I be wearing gloves? I don't really know. And so it works. It's great, but that's one of those things you just got to be careful. And then, so once you get the powder on, then you got to put it in an oven. And it takes about 3 minutes or so to go. There's lots of condensation buildup in here. I got water all over, and so this works, right? I do have another video talking about it. It works. It just isn't as one-touch simple. So here is the xTool website, right? This is the link. Check the link for all the details. This is obviously a little bit faster, but you click it, it prints it, it'll cut it, and then it uses those side things. It'll auto powder. It'll powder it. It'll make sure it's uniform. There's not too much, too little. And then it'll bake it, and then you're good to go. It's fast. And so here is that shaker oven. It just goes so much easier, right? So it's getting uniform. The other thing, if you have too much powder on there, you have little globs that can come up on your heat transfers. So this is going to do it automatically, and it's all enclosed. So I'm not breathing this. It's safer any space. This is from the xTool Live. This is the CEO, Jason, kind of showing other models. Shaker ovens are so much bigger. And so there you can see in the background, that's the size, right? And that's actually, I know it looks big, but footprint-wise for what this is, that is a really good footprint. Here, this isn't even everything. So he talked in the live event. This unit actually has more pieces, so it's massive. xTools also has humidity sensors, a bunch of other sensors. So lots of tech, lots of R&D. Safety. Speaking of safety, yeah, you can do this with your kids, right? So at this point, the heat press can totally do this with your kids. My kids love helping out, can start a little family business here. This is the xTool heat press, smart heat press. It's great, works really well. Big idea here, right? You're adding it to whatever, fabric, and then after you peel off the top, then you add some like a Teflon sheet or parchment paper, and you apply it. All right, so a little bit more of the printer, because we have the printer to show, right? Again, this is the idea. It's pretty straightforward. Here's that auto cut. So nice. So even, just go ahead and it's going to cut it. It's all right there. It's inside. I don't have to do it. It's going to do it automatically. It's perfect. It's so much better. I do love the other printer I've used. It is the Pro Colored one. It's great. It's a great starter printer. This has so many more features and so many more safety features, and I'm not going to mess with all this stuff once I have that shaker oven. So I'm excited for that safety feature. You just can't put a price on that. So here's the flow of how fast you can do with the heat press. Here, obviously, I'm using the xTool one. I have another heat press in the back for a bigger, a 15 by 15 size. For bigger prints, but just really quickly, you do your heat, and then I'm peeling off after that first 30-second press, and then I add that Teflon sheet or parchment paper works too, and you're good to go. You're good to go, and again, you can batch this out in no time. You can use a hat press, lots of that. I'm going to be showing a lot more with hats in the future, but some really cool, simple, fast. All right, again, just want to show some of the cool features that we got going on here. One of the coolest things that I love is the fact that you can just see all your inks right here. This is something that I haven't seen on other machines. This is a cleaning liquid for maintenance. And so you have this fluid in here, so it's going to auto clean all of your heads. It's going to maintain everything. But here I can see my CMYK W, my paint. You can see my ink. You can see how white, obviously there's a lot more because white ink is used a lot. There is the roller back there and it's constantly circulating. It's not a pump, it's actually mixing it constantly so I don't have anything seizing up. Let's go ahead and show you the controller. There's so many cool things on the controller. Let's go to the maintenance mode. So it's really easy. It just goes so fast. And this is just so much easier. We're gonna just move the print head over. And then we can see down here some really cool features. So when it's done, when it goes over here, it sits down here so the heads don't dry out. This thing is just coated with magnets everywhere just to make things so easy. Here are our dual print heads. We have our colors back here and our white. So it's going to do the color pass first, and then it's going to come over it with the white. Really nice. I can move it all the way over here, and there's actually an access point to open up this door, and then there's a mirror so I can look up and access, take a look at my print heads without really having to do much more taking it apart. This whole maintenance system over here is really nice. This is the waste ink, really slick. We got the little connector right here so it's not going to leak. All kinds of bells and whistles. All right, this right here, we got magnets, yay. This is how easy it is to add your inks. It's all here, really clean, and it's so nice. So obviously this setup right now is without the shaker oven. So it's a little bit different for the shaker oven. It's so much better. Oh my gosh, can't wait to show you. But that's just a little bit closer look at the machine. Obviously if I have the shaker oven, I wouldn't have this. It would then go into the shaker oven and all that good stuff. But it's cool, it's clean, I can watch it. This is so nice. xTool, all their machines, you can see things really clearly. And again, they do so much. They do so much with their machines, with the R&D, and it's pretty cool. Okay, so we saw it, easy, fast. Other ideas, right? This style hat, really easy, where you just take a transfer. Let me find one, I've got them everywhere. Hey, let's do Richmond AFC, Ted Lasso, right? And you can just put it straight on there. These are awesome. Another example, at my school last year, we have an annual kickball game, 5th graders versus teachers. And last year we did hats. We had a coworker who did them all, this kind of style. So these hats, they're really fun, the trucker hats. You can do a company logo, you can do all kinds of different things. Aprons, here, you hear that sound? You might not be able to hear it. That's another machine that's a little bit louder. This one's a lot quieter for the automatic maintenance. We got aprons, we can do aprons, we can do beanie transfers, we can do, there's a lot of other things. And so I'll list a link of other things that you could potentially, list on a website or offer up, whether it's pillowcases, mouse pads, a lot of things. One of the big advantages of a DTF as opposed to sublimation, it has to be on usually white or lighter fabrics. The DTF is amazing because it has that white backer, so it really pops on darker clothing. I don't really have an example of darker clothing. I'll just throw up here's some other examples of some DTF I've done where it just really pops off. And so here, there's so many options. There's so many possibilities, all the apparel, all the things. In future videos, I'll explore some more of those ideas. This was really, I got the machine, I wanted to show it, show some exciting things and some ideas where this literally was something I did in one afternoon, one evening, just batching out a bunch of these ideas. All right, so I feel like this is a little bit burying the lead. The software is really one of the biggest game changers. So we're gonna explore some free files, some great ideas here, but I wanna explore the software. It is remarkable. And so it's kind of like if you're familiar with XCS for lasers, it is the most easy and intuitive and free software. You don't have to use like a thumb drive like some other products. So it's super easy. So let's just go ahead and say we're gonna start something brand new. I'm going to drop in my file. Let's say, let's do this one. So this is one I created in another program. Well, it's a great file. It's awesome. But I want to make sure I don't have the background because that's what really pops. So there, that quickly, I can just remove the background. We're good to go. Now, if I look at this image, you can kind of tell it's a little blurry. It's not the sharpest. One of the best features is this enhance feature. So I push enhance, and this is going to automatically, like AI, magic, some kind of juju, it takes your images and it enhances and makes them so much crisper. Take a look at the difference in the final product of when I printed this picture without, and then when I pushed the enhance feature. So here you can see, it's great, it's solid, but look at the difference. Look how much cleaner and crisper it is. So this works for any image. If you find just something, on a Google search and you want to improve it, this just makes things pop so much better. Actually, this AI print I did in Creative Fabrica. So I'll talk about that in a bit. Great little, more AI, but so much crisper with that enhance feature. All right, so now it has replaced my image, and now you can't quite tell here, but you saw earlier just how much crisper it is. It's just way, way, way cleaner. All right, so then I have my image. I'm good to go. Obviously, I need to connect to the printer. So I'm connected. There we go. And then this is one of the cool features. It's the mock-up, right? So I can click on the mock-up. I can pick different things, a bag, a hoodie, a sweatshirt. So let's say I want to do, we're going to do an extra large shirt. Let's say color, right? I want to see what it looks like on a darker gray shirt. And okay, so I want it to be a little bit bigger. And I get the feel for it. Kind of place it. All right, I like that size. And I can print directly from there, or I can just apply the scaling. And so now it's been adjusted, and then, all right. Now, there's some options here. You can do all kinds of different options, how much quality. If it's a very detailed image, you want to do more passes, right? Obviously, the resolution goes up higher. And so on some of mine, I did the full 12 passes. On some, I did, 6 or 8 if it was pretty basic. It adds a little bit of time, but it's still super fast. Lots of other features here. One thing I usually, I saw some settings. There's a Facebook group with some pros who do DTF for a living, like have done it a bunch, and they have some settings. I saw a lot of folks had the color ink at 100, and then they had the white ink at 100. Another thing that you can encounter is this thing. I don't know the name. So I'll just give this screenshot right here, kind of explain the process. So the white ink reduction, I kind of played around with it because there's some prints, if you don't do this, there might be a little bit of a white border afterwards. So I did 0.35. I found that was my best result. So the best quality when you get this machine, 12 passes, awesome. 0.35 for the white ink reduction. That just means there's not going to be a bonus little white background here. You can play around with those settings. Again, I do recommend checking that out. But it's that easy, and then you click print and you're good to go, and then you go over. It's super easy. Some other cool features is we have this AI here on XCS. So here's that 5th grade forever sign you saw me do. Here's some other ones. So some of these files that I've made, let's go ahead and just show you how quick it is to make. So I could go here, text and graphics is a great one here if I want to just do a one color. Colorful printing, here I could do some different art. Lots of other options. Obviously, what really makes this one great is the color, right? So here I could do, retro printing, and then I could describe something, add the text, and then it'll pop out, Jamie reads, these different options. I did mountain lion reading, that kind of thing. Or what's one that I really liked? Let's find it. I can find it. There we go. Here's the one, graffiti text or the floral text. So here's the graffiti one. And I could say, we're already doing it, JME forever. Okay, I could do 2, I could do 4, I can, let's do 4. I use these points, it's really easy. You get these when you get the machine. Here's some other AI ones. I did some steampunk, mountain lion, some realistic ones. These ones are great, but they're kind of the whole rectangle, and I really like the look of the transparent PNG. Those just look better on at least for DTF, but lots of possibilities in here. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at that. All right, that's awesome. So I would pop that one in here. And then, of course, this is one note, one thing to consider. I don't want to have that black background. So I'm going to click Edit. I have to actually click it. And then I'm going to get rid of that black. Now here, I'm going to probably print this on a black shirt, a dark shirt. So I can come in and I can, get rid of any of these other black chunks that I don't want to get rid of. And so that's a great way to remove the background. It just looks that much better. All right, and then of course when I print it, it's going to auto flip it. So this is all XCS xTool, fantastic. One of my favorites that I've shown in a lot of my videos is Creative Fabrica. So Creative Fabrica, okay, wow. I can do this. Creative Fabrica, it's a subscription, right? So like the cost of one, maybe two files on Etsy, you have unlimited downloads. So here's a couple just with that idea of different logos. I want to do a real estate logo for something, or I want to do, you know, a construction company or a mechanic. There's all these, and you can edit these. Maybe you want to do some shirts on camping. There's some great, you know, watercolor AI ones that are already a collection in here for you. Here's all the national parks. You can do earrings, right? You could even do, you know, some stuff, you know, on there. So lots of possibilities. You know, these would be some great prints for kids, you know, expanding. And so these are some of my favorites that I love to use, that I've used, you've seen in my other videos. Again, this is unlimited downloads. I can download all of these files, every single one of these files for free with the subscription. Now, if you use my link, you get 10 free files. No purchase, no anything. But you could also, you know, subscribe each month and lots of cool things. And so the other cool one is obviously fonts. Like this is a really cool one that I keep seeing. And so you download it. It does include a commercial license, so if you use an image or a file, you don't have to pay extra for it. And again, these are unlimited downloads. So many cool things, amazing possibilities. Highly recommend for all the applications. But that is some more software tips and some free file ideas. All right, that was a quick look at this new apparel printer. Awesome possibilities. I will obviously have more videos coming once I have that shaker oven, lots more applications. My videos, usually it is extensive with all the material. So all the possible things you can do, just lots of tips and tricks throughout the tutorial style. If you're new, consider subscribing. Lots more apparel printing coming. So apparel, you know, leather, patches, there's some screen printing. More apparel is coming. It's just fun to do branding, and you got to be a maker. It's a great era to make things, and you can really, a lot of cool tools that are a lot more accessible, you know, industrial ones that can come home. And so going to show that a variety of ways. We can check out some of my other videos, other channels, but more good stuff coming if you're interested in this machine. Yes, xTool does send me this machine, sends me some of the machines in exchange for making videos for them, making these tutorials, and we get a small commission on sales. And so that's how we're able to make these videos. So if you're interested in purchasing using our QR code or using our affiliate link down below, it supports this channel. It allows me to make more videos like this, supports my family in that regard. Best savings right now. Best savings right now. If you're watching this at a later date, you know, obviously not. But best savings are right now with this Kickstarter and the launch. And so more information in that link. Make sure you check that out to learn a lot more about it. The different combos. As you saw, the machine itself is fantastic. But really what makes this so amazing is that shaker oven. You're not going to mess with all that rubber in the air and all that. Really, that's the game changer. And the cost of this machine, just this laser, not laser, it's not a laser, just this apparel printer, you know, would be $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 just for this unit with all the tech and just this, and it's a lot less. And so really the price, it is not quite a hobbyist machine, although you could, if you can swing that for your budget. It is a great small business, medium-sized business machine, but I really recommend getting that combo with the shaker oven. Safety, awesome, easy. All right, well, if you have any questions, what are you looking to see on upcoming videos, drop it in the comments down below. What would you like me to try, to test out, to see a little bit closer as this earlier look at the apparel printer. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.